Hi everyone, it's Lillian here and welcome to another Monday evening of creating and fun. So I'm so glad you can join me tonight. I'm Lillian Kemp and I'm from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I love to paper craft. So welcome, maybe make a comment, say a hi in the comment section, maybe even where you're from. Just let me know you're here. That would be great. So I'm going to put you down towards the desk in a minute, but just before I do, today has been a cold and rainy and drizzly day here. And so, well, it's been a perfect day for crafting. And I had to dig out the warm clothes. So as I go down to the desk, tell me or share in the comment section, what's one thing you like to do on cold, drizzly days? So let's just switch down to my desk and whoops, that didn't work. There we go. And as we're going down, leave that comment. And while you're busy typing away, this is the perfect time to give me a thumbs up, or I'm just trying to get things situated here. A thumbs up or share this video with your friends. Karen, so glad you're here. Excellent. So one of the comments that we were asking for, Karen, was what is something that you like to do while when it's cold and drizzly? So while you're doing that, I'm just going to try to get things set up on the computer to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Well, sort of know what I'm doing. I can pretend, right? And let's see here. There we go. And da-da-da-da. I better not sing or you'll definitely be tuning out. There we go. I just have to share to my group page as well, because some people catch me there. So here we go. We're all set, I think, except you're seeing my light. There we go. Oh, well, that's good. So just before we, one more thing I have to do. Sorry. You'd think I'd have this down by now. Just before we go to the Create With Me part tonight, I wanted to share something with you. There was a package of designer paper that we couldn't order for a long time. It's from the mini catalog, and I have mine here, and I just have to share it with you. It is called the Blackberry Beauty Specialty Paper, and it is so rich and the gold catches things up. It's not sparkly, but it's got that richness and sheen. Look at when I go like that. Ooh, I love that. So let me just show it to you. So there's one side, and then on the other side we have this and it works so well with it. Look at this together, believe it or not. Okay, and then we have this, and hi Ross, so glad you're here. It's got gold here, and then this on this side. Any guesses as to what pink this pink is here? The brighter pink, what pink it is? We know that this dark color is Blackberry Bliss, but we need to find out what some of the other colors in here are, and I'll tell you in a minute. So we've got that. I was making something for a staycation with this today, and it was so much fun. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this one here. Oh, Roz, you've just got this suite of products. Yes, it's fabulous. And then look at this. This is one of those that you can cut down here and then cut in panels, and you've got several cards. And it's even neater in real life. You've got the gold there. Maybe you can see it a bit. This, I'm just itching to do something with this. Oh, I am loving it. And then on this side is that. So let me show you the coordinating colors. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. So I made up my usual little sample sheet here, and these are the colors that go with it. So Blackberry Bliss, cinnamon cider. And who would have put those two colors together? And they look gorgeous. Early espresso, gold, polished pink, and rich raspberry. So all of you that like these rich purples and then these colors going with them, it's lovely. Some people say it's definitely a fall paper. I don't think it is. I just think it's just a rich paper that can go with almost any season. So let me know what you might use this paper for. All right, and now I posted Create With Me. So do you have your products? Do you have your papers and things ready? Because about once, for those of you who are new, about once a month, I do a Create With Me, and that is basically I give you the measurements of the papers, we gather it together, we all create something, and then you're encouraged to post it afterwards so that we can see what you did with what you gathered together. So I suggested first off some cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going with black tonight. And then I'm going to fold that right there while I'm at it. And there we go. And then I asked you to have a piece of likely basic white or very vanilla, 3.5 by 4 1/4. And then I asked for some designer paper that was 3 by 4. I have got this paper here. This paper is from the, where did I put it? Is from the Celebration brochure, and it is called Beautifully Designed, and it's all black and white, and you get a whole package, so the regular 12 sheets, but you get 4 of each of the designs. So this is the front and back, you see there, of each of the designs. So I'm going to go with black and white tonight. So that's my paper there. So it's 3 by 4. And then you need a shape that you can stamp on. I'm going to use a circle, and this is approximately 2 3/4, but you can use any shape that you want. And then I've got a little 1/2-inch strip for putting the words on. So that's what we're using tonight. So what we're going to do first off is take our designer paper and bring in our paper trimmer. Now, our card tonight is going to go what we call portrait, so that the narrow is at the top and bottom and the longer on the sides. And so when we cut our designer paper, we're going to cut it so that this is the up and down, because eventually it's going to show up on here like that. I hope that made sense. Anyway, this is 3 inches across, and we're just going to cut in 1-inch strips. But as you're cutting, kind of keep them in order. It's not life or death, but it's just nice if you do, because we're going to do a little piecing it back, and then it looks like it fits together. So there we go. So now I've got those 3 pieces. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here. Just put that to the side, and we're going to bring in the white piece. So it's like this, and what's going to happen is we're going to glue these down about like this. Now, when I'm doing that, when I actually have the glue on, I actually usually start with the outside pieces and then do the middle one afterwards, because I really want these edges to be fairly close to the same. So let's bring in some adhesive here. Oh, that one's all mucky. Let's see here. So I am going to, now let's see if I get mixed up. I'm going to turn them this way to put the adhesive on. And then I hope I remember which way I flipped them. Do you ever do that sometimes? Forget which way you flipped things? Okay, so what I'm going to do first off is put this down here. Now, if you notice that I had the designer paper cut at 3x4, and I use that measurement for a very good reason, because then you get 3x4. You get 9 of them out of one piece of paper, whereas if I'd gone 3 1/4 or something like that, not only would the math been more difficult, but I wouldn't get as many out of a piece of designer paper. So I do consider that when I am cutting my designer paper. Am I making my best use out of it? I don't know why I worry, because if you're like me, I've got more designer paper than I know what to do with. But that's just a little tip there. So now we've got it looking like this. Now I'm going to show you a sample later that does the same design. And what I did with the other one is I ran it through an embossing folder in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and added texture. I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to leave it as is, but that is an option. That's a way you can make it a little bit more interesting if you want. So now this is just going to go on the front here, and already look at how it's looking. Isn't it looking pretty striking? I think so. Anyway, there we go. Here, we'll just add it. Now you could put it with dimensionals. I'm not going to, because the rest is going to be on dimensionals, but you could certainly add this on dimensionals too. I'm sorry I'm waving it around, but I'm just trying to make sure it's straight, and I'm working through the camera. There we go. We've got it like that. So now we're going to put that aside and do some of the stamping. So let me just bring in some scrap paper. Well, let me first of all, before I do that, talk about what stamp set I'm going to use. I'm going to use this gorgeous, gorgeous stamp set called Nature's Harvest, and you've likely seen tons of samples of this. I've even shown you quite a few. Gorgeous design. I love the splotches. You know me, any more splotches, I love it. I like the script, and some of this is excellent for a sympathy card or someone who's going through a hard time, that kind of thing. And it is the red rubber, so it's the cling mount, and it's part of a bundle. So the dies are called the Harvest dies, and they're super duper ones. So you get 2 sheets, and then you get some of these labels as well. Now, I absolutely love the dies. If I wasn't even getting the stamp set, I think I would get the dies. So I'm just showing you, I always like to make this little sheet because sometimes I can visualize it better once I've cut them out. So we've got the 2 labels. The one die cuts out the stamped image, or you can use it without, and this one. And then these are just sort of standalone dies that you can use however you want. And at the end today, I'm going to show you some ideas for using these particularly. I am just loving those. So just hang in for that, and we'll move this. Now, the other thing, this stamp, oh, I've already got it mounted. I was going to mount the stamps. This stamp set is $72.75. So what that means, it means that when you buy this bundle, did I call it stamp set? I meant bundle. When you buy this bundle, you've earned a celebrations item. And so if you wanted to earn this paper, you could do that. You could buy the bundle and then get the paper for free. Or give yourself a little drum roll here. Or if you wanted to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, which is the best deal in the book, and there is absolutely no commitment or risk, you can get this stamp set for free. Yeah, the stamp set. Isn't that an amazing deal? So I'm going to use this stamp, and I just want to stamp part of it on there. So I'm going to ink up right here. And now normally I stamp and then cut, but this works pretty well. So I'm cutting and then stamping tonight. So there we've got it just like that. Isn't that beautiful? All the detail. So that is going to go on here. About like that. Now we need to do the words. Now we could have done the words on the little labels, that are in the die, and I'm going to show you that later, but tonight I wanted to show you another option, because if you're making this along with me and don't have this, you can cut your 1/2-inch strip, and it's however long you want it. If you're going to do anything to the end, I would do it before you stamp. Then you know your placement of your stamp. So I'm going to slide this in. This is the Banner's Pick-a-Punch, but you can just sort of flag the end yourself or whatever. I like to use my punches upside down. And what I'm looking for here is I'm trying to make sure that this line is in the middle. So it's like that. Because it's so skinny, the paper, it can wiggle sideways. So let's punch that, and we've got that done. There we go. And we can get rid of this. And now I know that this is going to tuck under here and go like that. So I need to keep my words right towards the end. I don't want to center them. I want to keep them towards the little end strip. There we go. And let's see if I can do this. There, that's pretty good. We'll accept that. All right, now it's time to put things together. So I'm going to actually glue this right down flat, and then I'm going to put this on dimensionals. But before I glue this down, I'm just going to make sure it's going to work, that I got my words over. All right, so I tested that out. Put a bit of adhesive there. So it's not quite to the edge, but just about, because you need all the room that you can get here. And whoops, I'm going to, there we go. And there we go. That's going to work just fine. So I'll put some dimensionals on the back. Take the backings off, and it's hard to see on there, isn't it? I'm just going to bring this in because we're working with black on black. I can figure it out because I don't want it to overhang and get caught on an envelope. And there we go. It's just like that. Now we're going to bring some embellishments in. And I'm going to bring in, I forgot to get them out. So I'm going to bring in the matte black dots. And let's take your pick tool. And I think I only need one because the paper is kind of busy. I kind of like that. So what do you think? Is this a design that you're going to use? I really like this layout and this design. It's one that I better bring that back. I found really easy to use and easy to showcase things. So I made this exact same card using the Harvest Meadow designer paper. So I used the blue, this one right here. And take a look at this. There it is right there. And the embellishment I used, that there is the blue adhesive backed gems. So that's the gems that are the two different blues, the lighter and the darker, and then it's got the different sizes. So that's what was used there. So there is the same card. Now, can you imagine it in that Blackberry paper that I just showed you tonight? Can you imagine doing this card in that? And you could put any image you wanted here, but I was just going to show how you can use one stamp set and different paper and get just a little bit different look. So let me just show you a little bit more about this bundle. I have here, whoops, let's get that out of the way. I cut some of the shapes out. So, and I brought in just a card front, and I just basic white. Now we could layer it up, whatever, but look at when you just have the black on there, So there's one of the dies. Here's another one of the dies. This is likely right now one of my favorite, maybe because it's fall and you can see the wheat in the fields. But can't you imagine making a card with these dies? They would just be stunning, and you could combine them. Ooh, there we go. So and then you could flip it around and do white on black too, or white on navy. So I did, and then you could also do white on white. So here I use the time-worn embossing folder. I use the die for the words, for the label die. I can't find my words tonight. And then I put these, so it's white on white on white with a bit of silver. So there is just a way to see that. Then on my Facebook page, in my group page, I did this not long ago. So there's again just the stamp set and the black. So very similar to that. And then some of these others you've seen, but just in case someone new is here, this was Karen did this gorgeous one. I think it was Joanne did this beautiful one here. Let me see. I should look inside. I try to keep the Kathy did this one here. And she did the stamping in the background and then that on top. And then Lorna did this one. So there are all different kinds of ways that you can go. So just saying that this bundle can do a lot for you. You can get a free celebration item. You can join Stampin' Up and get the whole bundle for free. There are all different options, but most of all, you can just enjoy the bundle. It is gorgeous, and I think you would quite like it. So before I stop tonight, let me just show you where to find the bundle and then that designer paper in the catalog. So the bundle is part of the Harvest Meadow Suite. So on page 54 and 55, so there's the bundle there. Other things that are really neat, these are fabulous here. These, and this cork apparently is really thin. I don't have it yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get it. And it cuts really easily and die cuts easily. Here's that embossing folder I was talking about. And here are more samples here. So you can see that right there. And then the celebration item is on page 7 of the celebration brochure. So it's right here. So there you go. Now I have some things to share. So here we go. So bring in my little sharing bucket. I received this gorgeous card here, and this is from the annual catalog, this one and this one. So what suite is this from? Any ideas? And this one is from Sue. So I loved how she used this, and this ribbon's gorgeous, and just the touches of gold. Just like that. And Bonnie, you use that card on your card tonight? Super. Well, we'll look forward to seeing it. That's super. Then there's this one made by Diana, and notice how she's cut this piece just a little bit shorter and then put contrasting paper from the same designer paper there. Expressions in ink. Right. I knew I should know it. Thank you so much, Roz. And then she's made that just as a little bit of a focal point. So there's another idea there. I've been making some postcards to send to my overseas grandchildren, and this is one of them. So this isn't even a card, it's just a postcard, and we're going to write on the back. But this is using the Celebration Counting Sheep stamp set and the dies that go with it. I love the words from this set. I love the font, and I just use it all the time. Then I had to show you something because a while back, remember, I was on the hats off kick and I was doing all kinds. Well, I saw this. This is totally cased from another demonstrator, Anne Marie Heil. She got the fish like this and then she embossed them. Someone also suggested put packing tape on the black before you cut it out, and it would work too. And this, so I have a little grandson who's hooked on fishing, and so this is just perfect for him. But guess what paper I used? Are you thinking? Are you thinking? It's from Celebration. It's got the reindeers on some of it, but isn't this great for a masculine type of card? And it isn't even Christmassy. So I'm liking that. Then I received this in a swap where we trade cards. And you know how I love my triangles. So here the triangles are used to make the Christmas tree. So that is from Tracy. Here is one that I just made. And again, I cased it from somebody, Susan Smith. And I have to admit, this is the very first time I have used my gold leafing, and I love it. But so there's the gold leafing on it. This is that specialty paper in the annual catalog. There's the rose gold and something else. I forget what it's called, but gorgeous paper. And then we've got the brushed metallic golds, and then the tag. So there's that one. Again, here's another one I received in a swap. And why did I keep the envelope? Because look what was on the flap. So isn't that a neat way to start sort of your celebration getting mail that way? Just have that on the flap. Then she's used all this nice gorgeous paper and that definition set. So I'm just loving that. And then these look really neat. You like this one, Karen? Yes, I do too. I do not claim any credit for it other than that I copied it. So there's that. Then I received this one from Karen, and notice how she makes her envelopes so pretty, so that again they are really great. Now I want to point out a few things here. This little penguin, she punched him out of the black glimmer paper. The little sunglasses, do you recognize where they came from? Look at this head and look at just the top part. So the punch has that part that punches out this, and she used that. This is such a tactile penguin. This here is that white velvet paper. So it is so pretty. And this is the red velvet. Now, what did she use to make the bow tie? His flippers. Remember the punch has flippers? So she used that, and then this. So I am just loving that. And then look at what else. I'm going to lower this down a bit. I've got it rather high. Look at this. And then it's a gift card holder. So isn't that so much fun? So those are my sharing things tonight. And I know that a few of you love that part when there's sharing going on. And then almost last, I love those hearts coming up. Thank you. Stamping Staycation. Many of you have already registered, and I know some of you are thinking about it. It's coming soon, September 11th. It's only $52, and you can register by going here. If you have questions, there's more information if you go there as well. Even if you're busy that day, it is a fabulous day of just gaining inspiration, having crafting fun, and just pampering yourself in a crafty kind of way. So just something to remind you about there. The last thing to remind you about is if you want to shop online, remember this is where you go, and this is the current hostess code right now. So you can't wait for staycation, Karen. Oh, I can't either, but we have been designing, and we were just sharing some of the ideas again today, and we're so excited, and it's coming together. We always wonder if it will at one point, but it's coming. Oh, and Roz, you're excited about it too. I love to hear that. So thank you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give me the thumbs up as well. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.